Hi everyone, thank you very much for tuning into episode 3 of this series. As a recap, in this series I go over the basic DPS rotations for each class. These aren't intended to represent the absolute top DPS rotations possible in most cases, but I'm trying to present basic rotations that most players are capable of doing that will put out near optimal DPS. In episode 1 we discussed the Death Shroud Necromancer, and in the second episode we took a look at the meta DPS Sword Ranger DPS rotation. Today's episode is focusing on a class that is not seen very often in casual runs, but is popping up more and more in record runs, and that's the Mesmer. The interesting thing about the Phantasm Mesmer is that it technically doesn't possess a DPS rotation. It does achieve its best DPS by having 3 Phantasms up and auto-attacking with its sword. That does not mean, however, that there is nothing a Mesmer player can do to maximize his DPS. The key to a Mesmer having acceptable DPS is maintaining 3 Phantasms as much as possible, as quickly as possible. Thanks to Signet of Ether, Mesmers can burst 3 Phantasms quickly at the start of a fight and have a replacement 4th Phantasm ready in case one is killed off. So let's get into the actual rotation. For the rotation itself, we will start by summoning either the Swordsman or the Eye Duelist, depending on which DPS offhand we use. Remember to always use the offhand Phantasm that will survive the longest based on your target's attack types. After summoning the Phantasm, quickly swap weapons and summon the Phantasm, the Warden, on your focus set. It's important to swap to the focus before your DPS Phantasm lands an attack so that you don't get the weapon swap cooldown. After the Warden is cast, swap back to your DPS set and immediately activate Signet of Ether, which will refresh our Phantasms, and then drop your second DPS Phantasm. At this point, you should have 3 Phantasms up, and you should begin to auto-attack with your sword. If one of your Phantasms dies, Phantasmal Swordsman should be off cooldown relatively soon, and you'll be able to cast it to maintain 3 Phantasms. If all 3 of your Phantasms are alive and kicking, just simply stay on your DPS set and auto-attack on sword as much as possible. When your target reaches about 10% health and is ready to be finished off, use Mind Rack to shatter and finish with one big burst. So that's the basics of the Mesmer PvE DPS opening rotation. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide, and if you have any questions, or if you're a pro Mesmer with any tips to share, please feel free to hit up the comments. What follows next is going to be a quick video demonstrating the opening I just spoke about. So check that out, and I will see you guys next time.